So I don't know if you can see that, but there's a beaver dam down there. And there's a couple others on this waterway as well. And it turns out those dams are the reason why Michelle and Rob Avis bought this particular piece of land. Michelle and Rob are, I guess they're environmental types. They see a need for restoring wetlands as well as farming. Anyway, they hosted me last night at Yeoford Hall. I'm in Yeoford, Alberta. I don't know if there's much more to Yeoford than just the hall. I didn't see anything. But we had probably the best discussion. I'm going to say it's the best because something happened last night that I've been trying to get to for the month that I've been on the road so far. And we finally got there, which is that someone in the audience identified, here, this is a step that we can take. I have these big ideas. I want to rebuild Canada's economy. I want to fix the economy for farmers. That's great, but it starts with a first step. And one of my goals for this tour is to find that first step. And last night, the first step that showed up at Yeoford Hall was, hey, we should make a list of the food that local farmers have in our community so that we can trade with each other. That's great. I brought together a bunch of people that kind of didn't know each other that well, even though that they all live in Yeoford or close to Yeoford. And because of the discussion that we had, they decided, yeah, we should try and figure out what kind of products we have and trade them. That's the beginning of a local economy. That is the beginning of rebuilding. So that was a really great discussion. The discussion I had 2 nights ago was tougher. I was at Wish You Were Here Eco Village. We had 13 people in the audience and they all stayed, and I think they enjoyed the film. But one fellow in particular, I think he was kind of skeptical. He basically said, well, I know this farmer and he's really rich. He has a new pickup truck every year and the latest and greatest combines. He's got millions of dollars of farm equipment. Well, yeah, I guess so. There are farmers out there with money. And I was frustrated because that's about as far as the discussion went. He didn't seem to be interested in debating or really talking about it at all. But it got me thinking. So I guess what I take away from that interaction is it's hard to look past the status symbols of wealth in some cases. A new truck every year, a combine, that looks like wealth. And I guess they are wealth. And who knows if that farmer was rich or if it was oil money or whatever. But it's hard to not see those status symbols and not see wealth. And as much as I would like to have a conversation about a deeper kind of wealth, not everyone wants to have that conversation. Speaking of conversations, keep watching these. You can subscribe to these. I'm trying to do one of these every week and just sort of sum up what I've learned on my tour. You can also head to thehandsthatfeedus.com. There's sort of a back catalog of YouTube updates and there's podcast episodes about the discussions. All sorts of good things to check out. Subscribe, check out the website, and I'll see you next week.